Working at SMECO, you actually have to go through a 4-year accredited program to understand the safe work practices. That's why our qualified linemen can make these energized connections, but we're asking that you have a general hands-off policy. During that 4-year accredited program, it's actually 2 years before they can make any sort of energized connections. They learn the electrical theories necessary to perform the work safely. They have specific personal protective equipment that they wear, starting with a hard hat. That hard hat has an insulation value up to 20,000 volts. That's if they're working in a bucket and they make their head bounces off of an overhead conductor, it will actually protect them up to 20,000 volts. Moving down, you'll see that very thick rubber insulating material, the rubber gloves and sleeves. That rubber gloves and sleeves has an insulating value of up to 17,000 volts. Every 55 days at our company, we collect every person's rubber goods materials, ship it out to an outside laboratory, and have them tested to 20,000 volts. That way we can ensure that its protection is available for our qualified linemen. Every morning, they do a blow-up test to make sure that there's not the slightest pinhole in that rubber glove or sleeve material, because that slightest pinhole can have actually electricity track through it, which would be catastrophe for our qualified linemen, as they use that as their last means of defense. Moving through their uniforms, it's actually a fire retardant material. That material is designed to automatically self-extinguish if they were ever in that intense heat in an arc flash environment. What that means is, as soon as it ignites, it's going to automatically go out. If you are wearing the clothing that you're probably wearing now, synthetic fibers, that material will actually burn and melt into your skin. That's why they say sometimes you're better off naked than wearing any clothing whatsoever in that arc flash environment. Lastly, steel-toe boots. Their steel-toe boots aren't just your normal construction steel-toe boots. They have a step potential value of up to 20,000 volts. Step potential is an electric phenomenon in which ripples of electricity actually ripple from the center out, much like ripples in a pond. So if you were to put 1 foot on one ripple, 1 foot on another ripple, you would actually bridge that gap between those different potentials. Almost the same as going up and grabbing an overhead conductor. The equipment that they use, Jeremy's actually holding a hot stick right now. That is a fiberglass resin material that we test every 6 months to 100,000 volts per linear foot. That way we can ensure that if we're using this equipment, we can ensure that they're isolated from any energized connections.